Okay, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Dudes Missing the Mark. It's Mark, it's Cody, and Jay is back from his sick leave. We have week 10 for you. I feel like we found out a little bit about some teams, right, guys?
Yeah.
A little bit, a little bit. There was so many close games that I'm not sure if you could just like decide
Yeah,
based off the winner.
I think it's some is clearer and some makes no sense, and others don't even matter now because there's injuries in there. But
Some don't
um,
make sense, and it's clearer, I feel like, as well.
there you go. So halfway through the season now. Bye weeks were there, are getting, a bigger part of the what's going on here now. I don't even know what I was saying right there, but before we get into it fully, we're going to talk about Topo Chico mineral water. It is the best bubbles, best mineral water. Cody, what's the best drink in the world?
Topo Chico Lime by far.
Topo Chico lime. Jay, what's your favorite one?
Uh, Tangerine. I don't know
Okay,
Topo
Jay's never
Chico.
had a Topo Chico before.
I'm gonna be
I'll,
honest, guys. I haven't
Jay,
had many.
this is
Jay,
great. They've
you're
been our
missing out.
sponsor for they've been our sponsor for 2 weeks. We'll have them send you over some Topo Chico.
That's great. I'll tell you what. Who loves them? Dre. She enjoys the hell out of them, and I bet
Okay,
you
there
she
you go.
does love lime.
All right, cool. All right, let's dance. Okay, week 10. Jay, overall thoughts?
It's in the
30.
books. It's in the books, guys. Thoughts? I think. I mean, first thought that came to mind is I think the Vikings are more well-rounded with Josh Dobbs joining the team.
Oh, okay.
Somehow they also get the running game going. Like, what's going on? Tyson Chandler looking pretty decent, and Madison pulling in as the second RB, which is interesting. But
Okay, Jay came out with a hot take. I like it.
that's right.
Cody,
Did I do it right? Did
Uh,
I do a hot take
that
correctly
was
this time,
good. That
guys?
was that
Oh
was pretty
my
hot. Vikings better off with Josh Dobbs and Kirk Cousins is a hot take. I will
mm,
say that.
mm.
my hot take coming out of the week is Houston Texans are making the AFC playoffs.
I I don't disagree with that, and I'll tell you who's not going to make the playoffs. It's the Buffalo Bills. That's my hot take.
Yep.
They
Yep.
are falling apart as we every week by week they fall apart more and more. Cody and I discussed it, I think last week, Jay, when you weren't on, where we were wondering what the last Macarena for them would be like, and it seems like it's just gonna blow up spectacularly. Diggs may
just
not
like
make it through the year.
just like the
Oh.
Macarena in the late '90s, just
Yep,
blow up.
one just blow up, and then it's over. So,
what
but
what if what if the Broncos and Bills have to fight for a wild card spot? Like,
that's a good
oh,
segue.
oh
That's a
my
good
God.
segue.
Broncos, by the way, 3-game winning streak.
Is that
Hey,
is that your best one of the who wants to start with that? I'm sure one of y'all's got best one of the week's got to be the Broncos.
I mean, that game was awesome. I'm going to go ahead and take that as best one of the week, and here's why.
Okay.
I was right. You doubters, you naysayers, all of you that made me second guess and doubt myself, including the Broncos themselves, made them doubt myself. But I knew before the season that this team was not
Okay.
terrible and that they were going to come in and be better than last year. Russell Wilson is not done. He's not cooked. He just needed Sean Payton. I was right. Everybody else is wrong. Go Bronco Nation. Bronco Nation, let's ride.
I'm pretty sure you also stated the Bills were frauds. I feel like that
Yeah.
was said somewhere in
Yeah.
the past as well. So
Yep.
double win for you.
I have
Cody's
I have
feeling
a
very vindicated right now.
I am
The Raiders are 5-5 as well as the Bills. So like comparison looks pretty ugly.
that is a good take, Jay, that the Raiders, who have had Jimmy Garoppolo, who's terrible for them, And then quarterbacks I don't even know of, never heard of, have never even I've seen maybe once without their helmet on. And now they're 5-5, whereas the Bills, the vaunted Bills team, I mean, it started in the preseason with the Bills, if we're being honest, back when there was weird stuff going on with Diggs. The coach, there was some team harmony stuff that was missing. Diggs, I think, wants his money. I think he wants to get the ball more. Every wide receiver thinks they're the best wide receiver in the NFL. I'm sure Diggs feels the same. And when you have a quarterback who is taking up, what is it now, 35-40% of the salary cap, and he's not playing 35 to 40% of the salary cap worth of quarterback, your team's going to have problems, and that's just the case. Honestly, I don't think this is my hottest take of the week. No quarterback in the NFL is worth the money except for Patrick Mahomes. Maybe Joe Burrows. And Cove agrees with me.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's a great hot take to lean into.
I don't even think it's that hot of a take. I think that's pretty obvious because if you look at who's, routinely been at the Super Bowl, near the Super Bowl, around it, it's generally Patrick Mahomes and guys who haven't really been paid yet. Now, I do agree a little bit with Joe Burrow, maybe the next outliner that comes out of that, but we still don't know because they're going to need to pay guys in the next year or two as well. Josh Allen is, I don't even know how to explain him anymore. He's just not, and we're looking right at Cody's crotch if you're watching on the YouTube. Thank you for that, Cody.
I am sorry. I'm on my phone, guys. Cove is crying. I have to set my phone down.
Okay.
So I'm sorry. I'll be stepping away for a couple minutes.
Okay.
Look, that's what Cody does in the show.
He does.
Every episode, every other episode, he shows another piece of him. So
it's very PG-13 HBO After Dark vibes a little bit there. But
Oh,
no,
man.
I think I will say I don't think the Bill or the Broncos I think they've somewhat figured out. I also think they've just kind of been on a little mini run. They did beat the Chiefs, but Mahomes had the flu. And then the week before that, they beat the Packers. And now they beat the Bills, who are just spiraling, it seems like. But they do have your Minnesota Vikings next week, Jay. So
yeah.
hold
on. I want to stick with the Broncos just a little bit longer. I think their defense has really figured it out. I mean, they kept the Bills pretty much in check for the majority of this game.
Yeah.
Second quarter the Bills got 8, and then touchdown. So yeah, they kept them pretty low and controlled this game pretty much the whole time. I looked at it at one moment, it was 21-22 Bills. I was real what the hell happened here? But no, the defense is really made the change. They did it against, I guess you could say, a sick Mahomes. And if they can keep this up for the rest of the season, I mean, Broncos could sneak into, like I said, that wild card.
They might. Also the Bills.
Can I just say, did you see the end of the game, by the way?
Yeah,
the Bills
so I was about to, yeah, they won it until they didn't. Because he missed the first kick, right?
Mm-hmm.
He missed the first kick.
A penalty on the Bills on the kick. How do you get a penalty on a kick? Is just insane to me.
12 men on the field penalty, right?
Yeah.
Which, unless I don't know, was somebody running off or something? I don't know. Was there just a guy that was out there? I don't know, but yeah, that game was crazy, and the pass interference as well down there was not very great to get them closer to that position. But I don't know. How about this, Cody? I'm fully done with the Bills. The Broncos are fully on my watch list at this point.
I'll take it. You know what?
Yeah. Okay.
Come on in. The water's warm. Me, Russell, and Sierra are just sitting in the hot tub waiting for everybody else to come in and join in on this Broncos pool party. And you know what? Shout out Kevin. He was one of the OG members of this podcast. Good for him. He's a Broncos fan. It's been rough going for him. This might be the highlight of his year. And just shout out to Kevin. I enjoy it while it lasts, man.
And Mark, you were bringing this up, and I'm going to call it one of the games of the week next week. Vikings Broncos. I think two hot teams. One of them got a fall, and I think the Vikings have won 5 in a row. So yeah, one of them's got a fall, and it's going to be entertaining. Sunday night.
Vikings are actually my best one of the week, and it's not necessarily for anything other than Josh Dobbs. That dude,
Yeah.
I mean, listen, he won 1 game in Carolina. He's basically won 2 games in Minnesota, although he didn't start the first one that he played.
He was with Arizona, by the way, not Carolina.
Oh, did I say? I meant
You said Carolina.
Yeah, it's
Cardinals
Arizona.
is what I think I meant to say there. So, I think he's a really great quarterback for like 3 games. And what he should do is just go to teams and play 3 games when you need help. That should be his only job, because we're going to see it and everybody's going to get real high on him, just like they did the first like 3 or 4 games of the season with the Cardinals. And then he's going to fizzle out because he's too smart. And when he thinks about stuff, he overthinks it because he's so smart. He's the Pastronaut. Have you heard that one?
I have not.
No.
He's an astrophysicist.
Is he really?
Oh yeah. Look it up. He's like,
whoa.
If he kept going, he could be like in line to be an astronaut. So they call him the Pastronaut.
Wow. Okay.
That is that's a terrible nickname.
It makes sense
all
though.
The space nicknames.
He's got a moonball.
Just moonball. Well, I don't know if you can go moonball with his alopecia, but
Moonball Dobbs.
Yeah. Moonball Dobbs. That sounds like a 1915 baseball player.
It does.
Moonlight Wilson or whatever that guy's name was. Yeah, I have a question for you. Actually, both of you, I guess. Who would you rather have the rest of the season? Josh Dobbs or Derek Carr?
Dobbs. I'm going Dobbs. Dobbs on the Vikings versus
Tell
Carr.
You what. Jay, you're right.
Any team.
For the rest of this season, I would take Josh Dobbs. For the next season, I want Derek Carr. We talked on this podcast before about how Derek Carr first year with new offensive coordinators tends to stink. After that, he gets to solidly right above average, but not well above average, but just solidly right above average. So I think next year will be a good year for Derek Carr and the Saints. But this year, give me Dobbs.
Okay. Dobbs it is. I like Dobbs too. I would definitely rather have him over Derek Carr all the time, basically, I guess. So
all the time
I think
moving forward.
I think Carr's cooked. This is his last year to be a starting quarterback, in my opinion. He might not even make it through the year, actually, because Jameis looked better than he did.
No, Jameis did not, dude. Come on.
Yeah.
Jameis threw 2 picks.
Yeah.
That's what he does, though. We also had, 122 yards and 2 touchdowns. You're going to get interceptions with Jameis. You just have to accept that.
You definitely are, yeah.
But at least he was moving the offense a little bit. The Carr offense looked horrendous.
Let's go back to the Vikings real quick.
Okay.
Can they challenge the Lions for the NFC North?
Absolutely not.
Yes.
What?
I'm saying yes.
Why? No.
They're looking so good. They get JJ back next week. Are you kidding me? Like Jordan Addison is looking like a mini Justin Jefferson, and having 2 on that team. Hawkinson is always wide open up the middle.
This is by far your worst take.
No.
Ever.
No. Mm-mm.
They will finish at least 4 games back of the Lions. At least 4 games. They're 2 games back right now. The Lions are 7-2, and the Vikings are 6-4. At minimum, they will finish 4 games behind the Lions.
I need to look at their schedules if I want to make a more.
Let's do it. I have the Lions
to commit more to this.
I got the Lions right now. They got the Bears, Packers, Saints, Bears, Denver, and then the Vikings, Cowboys, Vikings. So they will win both of those games late in the year. There's your two games right there. Even if Minnesota wins out.
Okay. All right. You may have this one. But
Yeah, I
really,
know I have this one, Jay.
Vikings play the Broncos one of the game of the weeks next week. Bears, Raiders, Bengals, Lions, Packers, Lions. I don't think it's 4. I don't know if it's 4. Are you saying the Lions are going to win out?
I think they could win out.
I think
No,
they
well,
could as well,
those the Cowboys, but
there's
I'll do
it's hard
here.
for a team to win that many in a row.
Here,
So
Jay, I'll do Minnesota's. Yeah, exactly. They win that many games in a row. They've already won 5 in a row. The
I
Vikings
know,
have. You think they're going to
I
win
know.
8 more in a row? Okay, they'll lose to the Broncos. They'll beat the Bears. They'll lose to the Raiders, Bengals, and Lions
Yeah, I think
twice.
that's a good take. I feel like the Bengals will lose and they'll take one against the Lions.
I don't think they'll take one against them. Maybe in the last game of the season when the Lions have the 1 seed locked up and there's nothing to play for. That's the
Yeah,
only way they beat them.
okay, I get it. It's divisional. They're always a coin
Thank you.
toss.
Not always a coin toss when there's
There is.
this much
It
talent
is.
discrepancy, Jay. You don't know what you're talking about, man. All right, what's your best one of the week, Jay?
Best win of the week was also the Vikings actually for
Okay,
a lot of the same reasons. That's what I had. Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Thanks. Okay, you're really
What?
good about just shoot. I'm gonna let you go first for
I've already
everything.
said a lot about the Vikings. Okay. I
What's
said
okay?
I said
What's
their run game's picking up.
what's your
Uh,
worst loss of the week? Then we'll start with you.
this one, I'm going to the Ravens. I'm going sinking hard on the Ravens, especially how they started off. They got that turnover for 6. They were basically 14-0 starting off. It was their game to control. Um, Lamar Jackson turned, unfortunately, near at the end, turned the ball over.
Yep.
Was it D line made a great play, just jumped right in front of his pass, but it was like point blank. I feel like as well. Like, why'd you throw that?
Mm-hmm.
Ball goes straight up in the air, pick 6. Very unfortunate. And then I think it happened again, and they just lost control of this game in the fourth, and it was the worst loss of the week.
Yeah, I mean, giving up 16 in the fourth quarter is not a good idea. Deshaun Watson ended up looking more like old Deshaun Watson, and now he's out for the season. Thank God, because now I don't have to think about him anymore because he's a terrible person. But their run game looked good too. I mean, Jerome Ford at 17 for 107. I don't know anything about the Keaton Mitchell guy from Baltimore, but he had that
Oh,
one 39-yard touchdown run.
yeah,
Pop quiz, Jay. How many rushing yards did he finish with?
I got it right here. 34.
Yeah. He had a 39-yard touchdown run and he finished with 34 yards. So he literally had one good play. That's
Yeah,
it. Every other play was negative.
yeah. Oh.
And I actually whenever I watched the run happen, I was like, that was a good run. Who is this guy? He must be really good. Look at the box. I'm
Well, I mean, he only had 2
maybe
other
not.
attempts. They didn't really
That
do
is
much.
that is true. Yeah, Gus Edwards didn't really do anything. Jackson was their leading rusher. As
Yeah.
I guess we're not shouldn't be surprised by that at this point. But
But Lamar 13 for 23, you don't want that with 2 picks and 1 touchdown.
yeah,
I feel like I was looking at this earlier, and the Browns really just controlled the game, time of possession. 34-25, not more as much as you'd think. But yeah, third down efficiency for the Ravens, 3 and 8, and it felt like that too. It I don't know. This one, it was a game they needed to control. Maybe it was a coaching failure, but they just didn't close it out.
Here's the thing, guys. Sorry, I'm back. Sorry to step away from the podcast for a minute, but here's the thing. The Baltimore Ravens are going to be fine. It was a bad loss. I will admit this. I'm still high on the Ravens train. It's one of those games that just happens in the NFL. Guys are good at football. The Browns have good football players. The Browns, I mean, it's not like the Browns are slouches.
Yeah.
It's not great to go from like letting Deshaun Watson go. I think what was he 2 for 20 or in the first half or like 2 for 16 or 4 for 20. I mean, it was something
Oh,
absolutely terrible. And so the fact that they allowed him to come back, get in a groove in the second half, I think injuries play a big part of the just this Ravens team not being at 100%. I still am high on the Ravens. I still think they're going to win the division. And these games happen in the NFL, and that's what I'm talking it up to.
I think the Ravens defense allowed Deshaun to go end the game 14 for 14. I believe I remember hearing that. So that's frustrating.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I put it more on the Ravens defense than I do the offense.
I agree.
Yeah, giving up 33. I mean, that's especially 16 in the fourth quarter. Now, Baltimore also scored 17 in the first quarter. So it was kind of like start hot, end bad, and then opposite for the Browns. That division actually would be extremely interesting. Actually, it still probably will be a little bit. Especially with the Bengals losing and the Browns losing their starting quarterback. It's their defense, they're gonna need to be kind of like the Jets, like pray your offense can do just enough and that their defense can hold opponents, to 20 points or something like that, or less. But yeah, I don't know. Cody,
Quick
worst
note.
loss of the week.
Hold on. Quick note. Did y'all see Odell Beckham's 40-yard touchdown?
I did.
It looked pretty nice. He looked good and spry.
How many catches did he have?
I still have zero. Yeah, exactly. I have zero hope, and I kind of despise Odell. He just has an attitude that I don't like.
He's not good anymore. I
And
think
yeah,
that's what it comes down to.
that was literally his only catch of the game. So I
Yeah.
mean, if you're thinking fancy football or something, I think you just still keep him on the waiver wire.
Yeah, he's just like there's nothing wrong with it. He's had two ACL tears in his career. Like it's fine. He's 30. You had a good career, man. Could have been better, but you had a good career.
Yeah.
No big deal.
The worst loss of the week for
Cody,
me,
worst loss.
Jacksonville Jaguars.
Mm-hmm.
What happened there?
They got exposed for the frauds that they are. Yeah, they were 6-2 going into this game somehow. Did not seem like a 6-2 team. That win over Buffalo in London looks worse now than it did at the time. I don't know. I just think I don't. How do you think of Trevor Lawrence within the concept of the Jaguars? Is Trevor Lawrence good enough to bring this team out of what they could like? I mean, right now, they're going to be a 10-17, probably win the AFC South because the AFC South sucks. Outside of the Texans, they might, Texans.
Yeah, hold on.
But there's a solid chance that they'll win just because they have a head start. But this team's not set up to be any better than it is right now, and that's not a Super Bowl contender. My question is it Trevor Lawrence who needs to make a leap, or is it the roster around him? He has weapons, he has wide receivers, and everybody who watches and studies tape all agree Trevor Lawrence is a good quarterback. How do you score 3 points at home against a team? I don't understand that.
Do you want to go first, Jay?
I was just gonna say that's all valid. Great thoughts, and it's hard to have anything behind it. I don't know. I honestly can't think of anything right now.
I can think of a few things. One, I do think the roster around him is not, honestly, it's not very good. I don't think he has good wide receivers. I think he has good wide receivers, but like that's it. If you look at all the top teams, they all have a guy.
Yeah.
Right? Because your quarterback, you got to have a guy. It's not Calvin Ridley. It's not Christian Kirk.
Why is it not those guys? Christian Kirk was good last year. Yeah. Calvin Ridley has had multiple 1,000+ yard seasons in the NFL.
But what are they doing this year? Calvin Ridley didn't play at all last year. And
is that the quarterback play?
I'm saying I think it's a little bit of both because I don't think Trevor Lawrence has that dog in him, as they say, right? I think he's a pretty boy quarterback who's not I don't. He just doesn't seem like he has the edge to him like some of these guys who he's not like hyper competitive to me. Maybe he is. Maybe he's just quiet about it. I don't know. But I'm just saying, like, I'm a vibes guy. I go by what I see. I don't check tape. And that's what I think about him right now. So
I don't know. We saw the dog in him last year, and near the end of that season, in that last run he made. The Jaguars made, and it made that division exciting. And you're
yeah.
right. You don't really see it much this year.
Well, like where are you ranking Christian Kirk and Calvin Ridley in terms of like top 15, 20, 30 wide receivers?
I think
Yeah,
I
it could be
think one
somewhere
of
around
them.
30.
Yeah, I think they're both probably in the 30-ish range at the
Okay.
time.
So they're in the top 30. I mean, I'm going to take out the Chiefs because technically they have one of the best in Travis Kelce, but then the Ravens don't really have that, although Zay Flowers is good. Lamar Jackson can run. That's basically their wide receiver. But you know who he also has down there? He has a tight end that's really good. His name's Mark Andrews. But then, like, Miami, obviously, great receivers. Steelers, great receivers. Texans got a guy. Bengals have a few guys. And then you got Philly, Detroit, San Francisco, Seattle, Cowboys,
Hold on.
Vikings. All
Hold
those
on.
guys have way better wide receivers.
Okay, let's take the Texans, for example. Is
Yeah.
Tank Dell and Robert Woods better than Christian Kirk and Calvin Ridley as a wide receiver duo? I
As
don't
a
think so. And
as a duo, maybe not.
CJ Stroud is the second in passing yards in the NFL. And I think Travis Etienne is better than any runner backs that they have. I think it's time for Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars to put up or shut up. That's where I'm at with them.
I like it.
I would rather have CJ Stroud than Trevor Lawrence the next 5 years. I'll say that.
That's
I,
bold, and I
I mean,
like it.
would you say that with the Trevor Lawrence we saw last year, finishing the season?
Yeah, I've pretty much been on this. I think the whole time. Maybe I've gone back a little bit. I don't think he's that good.
Okay, okay.
I think he's a good quarter. I think he's a top 15 quarterback in the league.
Man,
I'm
I think
he's not an MVP candidate like Cody likes to think.
I think
Maybe not
we
any he thinks that anymore, but
I think we may have seen the best of them.
it,
How's
Last
that?
year.
yeah. Yeah. I think this is it.
Okay. It's funny because I thought that y'all would put up more resistance to this. So I thought I was going to come in with some hot takes about Trevor Lawrence. And the fact that y'all are not, I think we're going a little too far on the Trevor Lawrence slander, which is funny because I'm the one that started this. He's still a good quarterback, but
Yeah.
at 3 points at home is unacceptable. I don't care who you're playing.
Also,
And if you want to take pot shots at my MVP pick, I just want to know how y'all's MVP pick is doing.
you have 7 MVPs, Cody.
That's
If we'd have done
right.
that, one of
Can
ours
I
would work out as well.
can I spread out my MVP pick as well?
Yeah.
Listen, you got to plant seeds for flowers to grow.
Okay. As from the 49er side of this, one, they look like they're back, and two, I'm pretty sure Debo Samuel is the most important player possibly in football outside of non-quarterbacks.
Most important.
He
Let's
makes that
elaborate. I like
offense.
this.
He makes that offense go. And Purdy looked like a completely different quarterback when he didn't have Debo the last 3 games. And now that Debo's back, you saw what he did. He looks great. The offense seems to flow a little bit better, a little more confidence in there. And I think they're back in contention, I guess, for a top seed in the NFC.
Yeah, I mean, I think this was the defense coming back and feeling good for an away game, and the offense, like you said, Debo's back, and I think they're feeling complete again. That's how I want to paraphrase the offense. They're feeling complete.
Mark, you're super wrong about Debo Samuel. He is not the most important non-quarterback player in the NFL. But
What?
that's
It's
okay.
Christian McCaffrey, right?
It's not Christian
Oh.
McCaffrey. The answer is Travis Kelce, because without him, the Chiefs offense is a no-go.
That's
But
another good point. Yeah.
other than that,
We haven't seen that. How can you?
here's the other
You know he's dating
here.
Taylor Swift, right?
God, this is-
Did you
Wait,
know that?
Who's Taylor Swift?
She's on an international tour, which Cody, he actually did go to Argentina.
Good for him. You know.
He went. He on his bye week. He flew to. We thought that was impossible, and he did it. It's an 8-hour flight from Kansas City. I looked it up.
wow, that's a committed
Wait,
man. That's a
wait,
big move, you know.
wait. Who's committed here? Travis Kelce or Mark to the fact that he would actually Google how long his flight was from Kansas City to
Only
Buenos Aires?
because, only because we talked about it.
Nope. I think you're officially on the Swifty Kelsey bandwagon, and you just watch NFL games now, waiting to see Taylor Swift in the stands. But
Hold on. I'll just talk about it real quick. Actually, I'll talk about it later.
okay,
Taylor
so
Swift is not in the stands. She's in the box. Okay.
You want to be in her box?
oh my gosh. Okay, Mark, you're at your parents' house. I hope they heard that. Secondly, I want
Hey,
to
listen.
I want to go back to the 49ers. This was a get right game. Like I said, I think that the Jaguars were frauds coming in. The 49ers were never as bad as they looked the past 3 weeks. They were always going to bounce back. Debo Samuel helped, yes, but he's not the most important player in football. So
Okay, you're
right,
wrong.
I think McCaffrey broke his touchdown streak, right?
He
did.
did. They tried really hard to get him the touchdown at the end of the game there, and
Yeah, there was a
couldn't do it.
couple close opportunities. Yeah, I just didn't come to fruition.
Yep. All right. Let's do best performance by a player. I will start. Brandon Cooks, guys. He finally, I think he may have doubled his year passing receiving yards. He had
Yeah.
173 yards and a touchdown, 9 catches. Also, player B there was CD Lamb, 11 for 151. There's really nothing else to say about this game. That's why I wanted to use this as a way to briefly talk about the Cowboys. They kicked the shit out of the Giants. Nobody's
Oh.
surprised. It told me nothing.
No.
this is what the Cowboys do. They beat up on bad teams, get people excited, then lose to the good teams. So that's where we're at.
640 total yards for this Cowboys offense. That is unbelievable. And Brandon Cooks finding some involvement. This was the game to finally do it and figure it out and to make him work. And I'm glad to see it.
What do you guys think? And I kind of already mentioned this in a group text to you guys. It bugs me how excited that Dak gets after like playing really well against shitty teams. I don't know why. I just don't like it. I'm like, do it against a good team, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that
No,
weird?
I get it. No, I understand it.
He played well against the Eagles.
I know, but he was like more serious about it. Like he wasn't hopping around like, oh, look at me, I'm so good. I'm like, hey, bro, you're beating the Giants. Chill. I don't know. It's a bad take, probably, but
What about this take? Is Rico Dowdle creeping up and trying to steal some role from Tony Pollard?
Tony Pollard sucks. I'll say it. He sucks. He's not a number one running back. He needs Zeke.
I like the split that we're doing though. Like keep Pollard more fresh. I don't think he's going to be the dominant guy and be able to finish a game. So I like the Dowdle Pollard swap out we're doing.
All right. Tony's having a rough year. Yes. He's coming off a major injury. He's not suck. Last year we thought he was the best running back in football for stretches. So let's chill out.
Zeke. That's why. He had Zeke.
Yeah.
Zeke completes this team just like Debo completes the 49ers. So that's why we need him back.
Well, if we get any injuries to the offensive line, I'm sure that we
Oh
can
my
call up.
God.
I'm
Here we
sure.
go.
I'm sure
I'm
the
sure we
Patriots will trade him back to us.
I'm sure we could get him on the cheap, all right?
He's too happy winning all those games in New England right now.
Jay, he's not cheap. It costs a lot to feed that man.
Oh my God.
It just keeps going.
Oh man, I got so many fat jokes for Ezekiel. They will never stop. Um, can I talk about my best performance of the week?
No, let's go, Jay. Jay, what's
All right.
yours?
Uh, best performer of the week. I don't think y'all are going to predict this, but I'm going with Brian Robinson Jr. with the Washington Commanders. Okay. 38 yards rushing, 119 receiving, getting involved in the game. He started,
Ooh.
I think it was first quarter. He had a real nice pitch from your boy, Sam Howell.
What up, cuz?
Took it to the house. It was a beaut. He looks good. He's healthy with 3 holes in his leg. He's making things happen.
Oh my gosh.
Ryan Robinson's my player of the week.
They
Good.
sewed up. They sewed up the holes, Jay. He doesn't still have the holes in his
Oh,
leg, just so you
okay.
know.
Okay. I thought they were permanent. Sorry.
Also,
That
when you said 3 holes, I did not know where you were going with that. I was like, oh, what? All right.
yeah, that
Yeah,
is.
he had a good game. Yeah. I mean,
I can't
Commanders.
say I
Yeah.
watched a ton of the Commanders Seahawks game.
I did
It was
not
pretty
either, but
exciting. It was back
yeah.
and forth. It really was like a back and forth, high scoring, high yardage, high offense kind of game. It was nice.
Who you got? He got Cody Clifton.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
The best performance of the week, and I'm surprised y'all missed this. Kyler Murray coming back
My God.
from torn. I forget, was it torn ACL from last
Yep.
year?
Yep.
Coming back, first game back, leads the Cardinals to victory. Opening up, he didn't play like super amazing, but he had some scampers. He looked good. He looked healthy, and just good for him to be back on the field. I know I'm not going to say I'm a Kyler Murray fan, but I do like having him in the league. He's fun to watch. He's whether you love him or hate him. It's good to see him back healthy, playing decently, and leading the team to victory off the rip.
I'll give Kyler one compliment is he is by far the best, most fun, as well as funniest quarterback to scramble around.
Oh yeah, no, he looks like
how he gets
he looks like a toddler running away from his parents at the park. He don't want to go home, and he's just scampering away, and the mom can't catch the toddler.
It's very funny because honestly, like my daughter will grab the TV remote sometimes and just kind of run with it. And when I try to go after her, she runs away. And every now and then I'm like, this is what Kyler Murray must look like to these defensive linemen that are chasing him. Like he's so tiny. And that's exactly and he does like the same thing. He'll stop and then he'll start and then he'll go. And like she does the exact same thing. So like it's just a perfect reference for that. He's just, yeah. And his legs are so like short and quick.
You're never gonna catch me.
Yeah, it's just so funny. But he's also like really good at it. So.
Yeah.
No, I mean he's like I said, it was good to see him back. Good for him to come back, lead his team to victory, and give the Cardinals fans. I mean, he's playing them out of the Caleb Williams draft pick, so
Yep.
that's not going to be a debate for them. And like I said, leading them to victory.
Yep. Let's see what else we got here. Well, we got most surprising outcome. So we got to talk about this game. I feel like we didn't really talk about the Texans beating the Bengals.
No, and
I thought
CJ Stroud could easily be the performer of the week as well.
He also could be. He had a great game. We said it last week. We thought this was gonna be like a letdown game for Houston, and this kind of showed me they're here to stay. I think they're overall a good team. They're a well coached team. CJ Stroud is by far the best rookie quarterback right now, and I think he might be already working his way into top 15, and maybe by the end of the year, how they end up, maybe even a top 10 quarterback. But 22 for 39 for 356, driving them down the field there at the end of the game against, a pretty good defense in the Bengals. Um, I don't know. I mean, Joe Burrow played well too, but Joe Burrow had a costly interception there. And it ended up costing them. So it's watch out. I don't have the same hate for the Texans as I have for the other Houston teams,
Yeah, I agree.
but watch out. Watch out. They're on my watch list higher than the Broncos. How about that?
I
It's
like
it's
it.
hard. You don't hate an ant, a single ant. You don't look down at it and hate them, and that's how Cowboys fans probably feel about Texans, and that's why we don't hate the
Yeah,
Texans.
they're like a cute
Um,
franchise. It's like, oh hey,
exactly.
you're there.
But
Okay.
Mark and Jay, both of you, I want to answer this. Was it a better win for the Texans or a worse loss for the Bengals?
I
Jay or Marco? Marco, go ahead.
I I think it was a worse loss for the Bengals because they really, really needed the win to be 6-3 and still have a shot at the division. I think this almost takes them out of the divisional race.
I think so too, actually. I'm gonna say this is a better win for Houston because they're showing they got the dog in them, and they're going to be relevant for this divisional race. The defense looks good. They did what they had to do. It looks like they studied their tape because they definitely made that Bengals offense frustrating to watch. Um, and yeah, their offense just keeps rolling, very consistent.
All right, Mark and Jay. Once again, another proposal.
Oh,
The Dallas Cowboys trade their whole draft, all seven rounds of picks, and Dak Prescott, and we get D'Amico Ryans and C.J. Stroud. Who says no?
yes. Do it.
Who
Sign me
says
up.
no?
Sign me up. I'll do
I
Do,
it.
do the
we don't need draft picks.
Who needs
do the
we
te-
take one
Who needs
shitty draft
picks?
and we get a franchise quarterback and what could turn out to be a top 5 coach in the league? I'm in for it.
Look, there's teams that are going to draft players and drop some good players, and we can go searching for those guys, but we at least got
Yeah.
two solids.
We have good players right now. If we had a decent, consistent quarterback who can actually win late in games. How many times has Stroud done this? Twice? 3 times this season already?
I mean, he's good.
It's
He's
good.
very good, and he's only going to get better. And honestly, it reminds me a little bit um, of when it's not Mahomes as like Mahomes was on a different level, right? But
What an
that
MVP his
first
first year starting. Yeah.
yeah, that first year, Joey B came back after his rookie year after the injury, and he came back and he's like, "Oh, this guy was for real. Like it wasn't just a joke at LSU." Um, it reminds me a little bit of that, where this guy is good. He's got the pedigree. I mean, the Panthers got to be kicking themselves,
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's tough look for the Panthers right now. But I'm serious if you're the Texans, do you like? I know what all of us would think, but it's hard to say no to 7 draft picks. So you'd be drafting 14 times, and you get Dak Prescott, who's a more than capable quarterback. It's not a, just an
Um,
idea.
yeah, I think it'd be very foolish for them to do that. Not even just for the quarterback, for the fact that they could have D'Amico Ryan's for the next 10 years or whatever. I don't know how long, he may last there. I think it's pretty rare for somebody to last 10 years, but just, 5 years, we'll say. Um, so, and what do they get Mike McCarthy as well? Or they just like start over?
They
They get
they do
Bill,
not they do
they
not
get,
have to take Brad McCarthy.
they can have Bill Belichick, who's apparently going to get fired. So,
Is he actually?
I don't know. Somebody like from the Boston Globe wrote that there's a chance he could get fired on the bye week if he loses in Germany. He still hasn't been fired yet, so I don't think it's going to happen. But yeah,
There's no way you
I
fire
think
Bill
there's a
Belichick.
0% chance he gets fired. By the way,
He's gonna get
he's
the
going to get
most
Caleb Williams next year, guys.
respectful
Like,
release ever.
how
That's
bad
probably
they
true.
are.
Yeah.
They
Anyways,
lost 10-6 to the Colts without Anthony Richardson.
yeah,
Yeah.
they had Gardner Minshew though. Don't put some respect on his name, okay?
I will put the appropriate amount of respect on Gardner Minshew's
Do you
name.
guys have a surprising outcome?
I mean, I'm a little surprised that the most surprising outcome is the Broncos over the Bills. That's the most
Yep.
surprising.
Yep.
Second most would be the Texans over the Bengals.
Okay. Jay, do you have a third?
Mine was just the Jags performance.
I'm
That's
not
it?
surprised by that.
Yeah. Only other game of note that I'd like to discuss just briefly would be the shootout in Los Angeles against the Chargers and the Lions. The Lions end up winning on the walkout field goal. So is anybody doubting Jared Goff at this point? He's a good quarterback.
So I was reading a 2018 or article about the 2018 game of the Chiefs against the Rams, that famous 51-50 game. And just looking back, Jared Goff has been good for. I mean, that was thinking back. That was 2018.
Yeah,
And
he's been fucking good. I've tried to tell you this, Cody.
the problem is he puts up stinkers that just that give fire to the fuel or fuel to the fire for all the people who don't think he's good. I've come around on him. He's pretty solid quarterback. He's good. He's good.
I think he's quietly a good quarterback. I think a lot of people don't talk about him. He's not really out there a lot, and he's been pretty consistent this year.
He's just good. And is he a little bit of a system quarterback? Maybe, but he's been in two different places now, and he's done well in both those places. I mean, he went to a Super Bowl with the Rams, and yeah, was part of one of the best games ever there. But I don't know. I just want you guys to basically tell me that I'm right. That's why I brought this game up. So
No,
I'll give it to you.
We also need to talk. I mean, is it if you're the Chargers, how many games do you give before you shut Herbert down? Like, that's the worst thing that could happen right now. Honestly, that's the worst thing that could happen. It's Justin Herbert gets injured, and you're not going to make it down.
That team.
Yeah.
The Chargers are they're a disaster.
I mean, poor Justin Herbert. Am I right?
I'm telling you, dude, he should have just requested to get traded. Sign the deal, get traded. Just like, all right, guys, please let me go somewhere else.
You know where would Justin Herbert fit best right now?
Literally any other franchise.
Bring him to the Cowboys.
I don't want Justin Herbert.
Why?
I think
we got a deep ball, bud.
He's like a better statistical, fancier, bigger arm, but he's still Dak Prescott.
No, I think Josh Allen's closer to Dak Prescott.
No, Josh Allen is Tony Romo. We've talked about this.
What if
let's do more? Let's do more comparison. That would be fun.
Yeah.
I think. Do you think Herbert would fit in with the Saints?
Maybe.
I think
Olave.
the Saints,
him and Olave.
They got a great run game there. Some good wide receivers.
I think the Saints traded their soul for their one Super Bowl, and I think that they are going to be the Chargers of the next 50 years. I just
never win.
Just never win. That's just they're going to have talented teams and not win. Something about the New Orleans Saints franchise just screams that to me.
They're gonna
get the right talent to sell your soul.
Yep. They're just gonna be kind of middle ground, and like they'll have some really good players, but then they'll be like also be really bad at like one side of the football or something. That's pretty much what they'll do, right? So,
Right.
all right, let's look ahead to next week a little bit here, fellas. Thursday game. It's actually a good Thursday game. I hate that they actually put good games on Thursday, but it is the Bengals at the Ravens. Cody's Ravens, my Bengals. Jay, who you got?
I don't think we're getting T. Higgins back here. They're going to focus on Jamar Chase. I'm going Ravens.
Oh,
I think they showed some
Ooh.
flaws this last game, and I think they're going to make some corrections.
Okay.
I am going to keep you in suspense here because you have no idea where I'm going. But I'm
We all
going with
know.
the Ravens.
Get
Ah!
out.
The Edgar Allan Poe's, baby. Let's go, Lamar. Go out there and win your MVP. Let's do it, baby.
Oh man. I'm going Bengals, obviously. I think it's gonna be a low scoring tight game. I think it's gonna be like a 20-17 game with the Bengals coming out on top.
No.
I don't, you know, I
You've
don't think
already
so.
said your pick, Cody. Why do you always do this?
Because it's going to be
Like,
42 it's going to be 42-28 Ravens.
No, that's not what it happens on Thursday games. Like always, like if you're a betting guy, Jay, you don't bet anymore because you're so bad at picking games, but
Just
bet
pity
the
bad.
under on this game.
And
Anyways,
that's why it's going to
I,
be over.
I don't think Bengals are getting 20. I'm going against that. I'm saying,
you think they're
yeah,
going to score less than 20 points in
yeah,
general?
yeah. This
All right,
game.
well then they'll win 17-13. You want to play this game with me? I'll go all night, Jay.
This is ridiculous.
All right. There's actually not very many good games next week, but I'll just do some quick hits here.
Whoa, keep an eye on the Steelers Browns.
Why?
Hey,
Why? That's
no.
divisional. They're both 6-3. Come on.
Well,
T-
Dorian
TJ
Thompson
Walker.
Robinson is starting for the Browns now.
But we know that this is a defense that controls this game.
Honestly, the Browns will probably win this game straight up. Like
Yeah,
they're at home.
it's one of those weird
It's,
ones.
The
it's going to be
Steelers
aren't
6
have
to
great.
3.
The
Steelers are
Steelers aren't
favored.
great, and they're 6-3.
No, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
No, that's going to be the score. Is 6 to 3, and I don't care who wins.
Yeah, it probably will be. Yeah, it's like we got the Texans and the Cardinals. Texans.
Texans.
I don't know. Kyler? Yeah.
Huh?
No.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
No, not against Boy Wonder. What CJ Stroud needs a nickname. I like Boy Wonder.
Boy Wonder.
Okay.
What was the Jetsons dog name? Astro?
Yes.
Nah, that's not good.
I
Comet.
Comment.
I heard something interesting on a podcast. So CJ Stroud's full name is Coleridge Bernard Stroud IV. Where's the J?
Man, he is from the whitest neighborhood in Ohio.
Wait, where's the
I
Where's
think it was
the
just
J?
given to him, and he just liked it. I think that's what it was. Is he a junior?
Also, he's from California, just so you know, Cody.
Is he a junior?
Is he a junior? No, he's the fourth.
So
I'm telling you, it doesn't make any sense why he's.
I feel like I've heard this story too. Like someone just called him CJ, and he just ran with it or something.
I feel like this is the scene of like at the end of 8 Mile when he's making fun of the guy and he's like, your name is Clancy and you went to a private school.
Clarence.
That's what I Clarence. Yeah, sorry.
Your name's Clarence. You went to private school. Clarence lives at home with both parents, and Clarence's parents have a real good marriage. That's my. I honestly, I could probably listen to that battle on like loop.
I actually did. I did listen to it the other night. I'm not gonna lie. I went down.
Did you? Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, back to football here. Let's see. Cowboys at the Panthers.
Cowboys. We destroy bad teams.
How many flexes does Dak hit this game?
God,
Over
so
4.
over under more Dak, or what happens more, Dak flexes or Carolina points?
that's a good one. Probably Dak flexes. I'm saying I'll give him 3 points, and he'll probably he's like, oh, look at me, I beat this 1-8 team. I'm so good. So good. Okay. Tennessee at Jacksonville. That might be fun.
Yeah, unfortunately, Tennessee, this isn't their year, but I'm still in Will Levis hype train. He's the next one that's gonna be good. But yeah, they're not gonna be Jacksonville.
Yeah, they need some help. I'll take Jacksonville in a bounce back game here.
Jacksonville.
All right, Monday night game. The Philadelphia Eagles at the Kansas City Chiefs. Fun
There we
fact
go.
about this game, Taylor Swift will be there, and their parents are going to meet because the Kelsey brothers are playing each other. So Taylor Swift's parents and Travis Kelsey and Jason Kelsey's parents are going to meet. Isn't that fun?
Wait, how do you know that Taylor Swift's parents? Just because Travis and Jason are playing, like, where are Taylor's parents going?
Because they want to meet them.
So dang, so this is like
Why,
serious.
why are they
Did he pop the question?
why are they
I don't know.
doing it like in a game? Why haven't they met prior? You think they're meeting prior? You think they met?
I don't know.
Celebrities do weird stuff like that, right? Like
I'm looking. It's
This
literally
is all publicity. This is
it's
all
Taylor
publicity.
Swift and Travis Kelsey's parents expected to meet at his game. That's it. That's all I know.
Wow.
well,
I'm a headline guy. I don't read into anything else. I don't need the story.
We need your predictions though.
I have the Chiefs 42-14.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
42
I,
because
they
Taylor
scored-
Swift is going to be there.
Have they scored 42 all year?
doesn't matter. Here's the thing: the Chiefs' defense is good. They're legitimately good,
Yeah,
and
that's true.
I don't think the Eagles. Um, I don't think Jalen Hurts will. I think they'll be more prepared for Jalen Hurts than the Cowboys were, and there's no stopping Patrick. And I think if T Swift's in attendance, Travis Kelsey's going to have like 150 and 2 touchdowns.
You
So
betcha.
there you go.
Okay. I like it. I'll go 52-0. How about that? I'll one up you.
I got
You
35-20.
okay.
We're all going Chiefs, right?
Yes.
No.
Eagles,
Yeah,
I think, are going to lose the next 4 games.
Ooh, I like that.
Dang, that'd be crazy.
Yeah. Although they do have Buffalo the following week, and we thought that was going to be part of their gauntlet, and maybe it won't be. Maybe that'll be an easier game for them. We'll see.
Hey,
But yeah.
since you got the schedule pulled up, who
Ooh.
do the Raiders play this week?
The Raiders of Las Vegas play the Miami Dolphins.
All right. Well, it was good while it lasted. So, just sorry, Wyatt. But there you go. And then, okay, so we're gonna go Dolphins that game, right?
Yeah.
I'll go
home.
Raiders.
Okay. the
Might lock them.
Yeah. You
the
heard
other
it.
team, since we were kind of hyping them up earlier, and I want to be right. Who are the Broncos playing? Do they play?
We already talked about
We
the
already said it.
Broncos
Playing the Vikings, bud.
playing the
Oh.
Vikings.
2 hot teams colliding on Sunday
Yep.
night.
Josh Dobbs
Whoa,
versus Russell Wilson.
You were with code.
Oh yeah, you
Oh,
might not
could've
have
been.
heard that part.
All right, who did y'all pick?
I don't think we did.
Well, you
Let's
picked
go.
the Vikings.
I'm going
'cause-
Vikings. That's right.
Yeah. I think the Broncos are gonna win. I think they might win out. I don't know.
Jeez.
Mark,
You're winning out, taking over the AFC West.
I don't think they're gonna lose a game the rest of the year. They might win the Super Bowl.
I can't. I hate you so much, Mark, but
I'm
do.
back on. Let's ride, Broncos country.
Oh, God.
Russell Wilson for MVP.
I do think the Broncos are going to win. Josh Dobbs' fairy tale comes to an end.
Mm. I want to see it continue.
All right. You guys got a mailbag question?
Uh, not a mail. I actually, you know what, Mark? We didn't ask Jay the question from last week. I'm curious to hear it. We can do another one in addition to, but Jay, what region of the world has the worst food
Or country
or
or just
country?
has the
cuisine in
worst
general?
food.
Yeah.
I feel like London was pretty bland. Been there.
Yeah.
This is weird, but I might say China. And it's just
You like Chinese food?
it's either like hit or miss for me. I feel like.
You ever been to Panda Express?
Oh, I love me some panda.
That's
Goodness,
American.
you
That's
get the crab
American.
rangoons, bud, at Panda.
I know. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
And
Chinese food is good.
it's not like like Americanized Chinese food. I
Mm.
would probably say if I went to deep dive into China and tried a lot of their stuff, I'm not sure I would like some of the traditional things.
I don't think a deep dive into China is a good idea for you to do in general, but the correct answer is England
Yeah.
Yeah.
England
or
with
Great Britain,
Australia.
UK.
Australia is a second place behind them.
Yeah,
That's where I landed.
that's it.
That's weird.
Anybody?
We all basically agreed.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I think the world agrees.
yeah.
Like Mark was saying, there's not a ton of British food restaurants running around out there.
No, the one thing
And
that they did right is the pub. That's it.
yeah,
There's
and
British pubs.
they always get compliment on like the Indian food and the curry there, and that's not even native. So
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Um, my other thing of note, just for Texas Rangers are World Series champions of
Yep. They
and
are.
then,
They're still World Series champs.
Mark, you don't have the background up, and I'm a little disappointed, but that's okay.
That's okay. That's
Um,
okay.
even though, but the Rangers are going to repeat in 2024 because they're going to sign Shohei Ohtani.
Oh,
That's not confirmed, but many rivals, ALS or AL execs think that they are very, very in the top like one or two and contenders for Ohtani. So
that
he, he,
is wild.
look,
in this,
they said we bought this last championship. Let's prove them right this coming year. You know,
yeah.
Don't get me started on that, Jay.
I knew it was gonna
Do not get me started on
ruffle
buying
feathers.
a championship. It's just you sign good players, and then you have a
Yeah.
lot of guys who we drafted or were international free agents or we took a flyer on. So chill the
Yeah.
F out. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, it wasn't my words.
Garcia, Tavares, Carter, Young,
Time.
Yeah.
Heim, which I
Robbie
mean,
Grossman, Jankowski. What are we doing here? Nate Lowe wasn't a star player.
no.
Anyways,
Cody.
DeGrom didn't even play.
Yeah.
But Corey,
Yeah.
Corey Seager's the best prospect.
When that
All right.
statement went out and I heard it, I thought the same thing. But Cody, 8-3 Mavericks. How you
That's
feeling, bud?
pretty freaking awesome. They are playing tonight. I haven't watched the game, so don't spoil it for me. So they could be 9-3 by the end of this, or they probably already are 9-3. The game's over by the time this is recorded. They're a lot of fun. This is the most fun I've had watching Dallas Mavericks basketball in a long time. Luka's having fun. We've had one crap game. It was last night against the New Orleans Pelicans on their terrible court. There was air balls abound. We had spent 2 nights in New Orleans, and I think that just caught up with us as 2 nights in New Orleans for NBA players, young, good-looking, rich NBA players in New Orleans. Probably not great to stay there for 2 nights in a row without a basketball game. So we looked at that. Other than that, dude, I mean, so much fun. Our offense is insane. 3-pointers raining down. Luka looks awesome. Kyrie's found his role and found a fit, and I think it's going to work in Dallas, which is crazy.
Doesn't he have a foot issue right now and foot and
Yeah,
groin going on
he
right now?
sprained he sprained his ankle. He's old, he's going to
Right.
be injured throughout the week or throughout the year. That's okay. Um,
We get him back
as long
Saturday, I believe, though, against the Bucks.
as long as he's healthy, as long as he's healthy for the playoffs, that's what we mainly care about. We got to get there first, but we built ourselves a good head start.
Right.
And like I said, it's a lot of fun to watch this team. The ball moves so much more than it has in the past few years because um, even though we liked like everybody loved Jalen Brunson, he's not a whip it around point guard. He plays a lot like Luka. Like so he dribbles around and he'll poke and probe and then maybe find the pass to open 3-point shooter or maybe shoot for himself. This year Kyrie's moving the ball, Luka's moving the ball more. I feel like he's not working as hard. We signed good players. Our 10th and 11th men are not bad players, and that
Hmm.
makes a world of difference when you're playing guys who are good and not playing Frank Nicotine and McKinley Wright.
Yeah.
And
You
that just changes it.
yeah, you said they're more exciting to watch. Is it because we're faster?
Well, we're playing a lot more faster. We're pushing the ball more.
Yeah.
Um,
We're fifth in the league in pace.
yeah,
Like
which is
we
which
are
is
moving. We're getting our bench rotations in a lot more. We got younger guys to do it too.
No, and I mean Luca likes to walk it up, and the fact that this year they finally convinced him to make that throw ahead pass or to even start the fast break himself sometime is awesome. We've got a young athletic center, rookie Derek Lively, who's playing well above what a rookie center should do, which is awesome. We have Derek Jones Jr., who we signed late in the summer, and he's starting for us, and it looked like a bad idea that we're going to be signing this guy. He's been awesome. And not only that, but he's like actually athletic and has cool dunks, and we haven't had that in so long in Dallas. So just like I said, a lot of fun. We'll see how it goes. We'll do a deeper NBA preview at some point. As Mark
Yeah.
says, it
Yeah,
doesn't start till after Christmas, but
there's an argument that our schedule has been, on the easier side, playing some easier teams. But I mean, I think you said it. We've been on the road, probably the most in our conference thus far. So they're playing out of their suitcases. So to say that they've had an easy start to the season is, debatable. We got the Bucks, Kings, and Lakers coming up. That's really gonna challenge us. Um, so I think these next three games are going to be even more fun to watch.
Jay, you're bringing tears to my eyes, man. Just,
Yeah,
just,
what is
just
happening right
love it,
now?
dude.
Love you,
Love
bud.
love the talk, and I've been wanting so badly to talk Dallas Mavericks basketball with somebody. So, thank you, Jay. I
I
appreciate it.
I think if you're going to start watching the Mavericks right now, these next three games are going to be um, something the Mavs need to
Yeah.
prove. So
Well, I've watched every minute of every game so far.
Do
I will continue to watch.
do any of these games coming up have really dumb looking courts? Because I don't think I'm gonna be able to watch anything with purple and green courts.
Well, we're 1-2 so far in the in-season tournament, so you're not going to have to watch too much of them anymore because Mavericks are pretty much already out of the in-season tournament because
Oh,
pool play is only 4 games, so the fact that we're 1-2, it's gonna make it hard to get out of that. So, which kind of stinks, but it is what it is.
yep. All right. Well, great show, guys. I guess we'll see everybody next week, and be sure to follow us on all of our stuffs. Okay. Till next week. We'll see y'all later.
Russell Wilson, comeback player of the year. I called it here first. Peace.
Peace.